Got some tough issues. Okay. That K on the countertop don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now.
All right, Coach, thank you. There's a look at New Era Field here in Orchard Park, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Their own 29-yard line.
Come on, set. 90, Wolf.
First down, defense.
Get.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
On the ready.
45. Mike, 45. Here I come.
5.
Off the bootleg. Kraft nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you've got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
Set up. 70, Indy. Ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd and 9 now. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 32-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Ready, set.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Double dog. That's the way.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
On first down, Green. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Hey, orbit.
Off the play fake. Kraft. Quick hitter here, it's complete. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short.
Recon, 132 fighter. Hey, box truck. Snap.
Operating from the gun, Kraft. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it? And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions take it right down and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long to see if they can continue that in future drives. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, that he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
At the 40-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Right back to him on first down. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
At their 49-yard line.
Mike spoke both.
5 wide.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
To throw, it's Allen. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On play action, Allen. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Operating from the red zone now. Allen. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Kraft being chased out left. And that'll be incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Kraft. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Allen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Ready, ready.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some.
X3. 218. Chop. Ready, ready.
They'll run on 1st down. Green. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for the defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Hey, shoot!
45. Mike, 45.
On third down, Kraft. He wants it all for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort, and you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger. And this time, it cost them 2 points.
Let's go, fellas.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone. But I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Kraft. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he's going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And they're back within a couple at 9-7 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Throwing after the interception. Kraft. Throw left side complete. That's Peterson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Bravo!
45. Mike, 45. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
Get it.
From the gun on 3rd down. Kraft. And he's got room. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 5. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Kraft. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes it 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Kraft. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. So we've come to halftime at a 5-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. Now this is picked up by the Bills, and they'll have the ball set up in the... Red zone at the 16-yard line. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The extra point up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Hey, exit. Please grip.
Back to throw. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Get that ball.
So after the INT, it's Allen going for it all. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. how are you going to win it? And in this case, they've managed to get it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Regular. Hey, echo. Pass.
Check, 45.
On play action, Allen. And he will find his man on the outside. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They go play action here on first down. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. They need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. He's going to go for a big play downfield, and that's caught inside the 35. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. He'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
You take it right on the 30. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Now they'll run it on the toss. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All 52, half 10.
44 is Mike. 44 is Mike. Check.
Hey, Delta.
44, Mike, 44.
Half 10.
Allen off the play fake. He's going to look deep down the field. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Bills send the punter out. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 22. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now back to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Bring that key!
44.
I got him. Hey, motion backfield. Middle.
Popo's the Mike. Mike's Popo. Here we go.
Hey, seam six.
Boys the Mike.
Hey, tight.
On first down, Allen. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to work. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. This will be caught at about the 6. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Hey, orbit.
44
Now Allen. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The Bills on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
44. Mike, 44.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Greystone, travel.
Alert 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Green. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys have.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end. And it'll be intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll drop the throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Dropped at the 35. Able to display his agility, but not much room to operate. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them.
And this is taken in at the 5. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
Set, 8, read.
All right, T, let's
General West.
SOS.
Hey, wahoo. 5.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Green. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw here toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as he'll go for it on 4th and goal.
Mike 49. Hey, watch the slant.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. No problem there on the extra point, and that will get them one closer. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Their own 26-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Bills, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is okay. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge,